Another important judgment that we will discuss regarding live-in relationship is the leading case. Indra Sharma vs. VKV.Sharma, which was delivered in the year 2013, and the very provisions under Domestic Violence Act 2005. The matter that was arising out of a special leave petition, the Honorable Bench of the Supreme Court of India, comprising Justice K.S. Radhakrishnam and Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, while dismissing appeal's decision of the High Court of Karnataka, wherein the same relied on the landmark judgment delivered on D. Veluswamy vs. D. Bhattacharya Mal in 2010 and denied maintenance to a woman claiming maintenance under the Domestic Violence Act from a married man, male with whom she was in live-in relation, knowing the fact of his marriage. The question of law to be decided by the Honorable Apex Court was whether a live-in relationship of a woman with a married man, knowing his marital status, would amount to a relationship in the nature of marriage falling within the definition of domestic relationship under Section 2, Subsection F of the Domestic Violence Act 2005, and thereby disruption of such a relationship by failure to maintain a woman involved in such a relationship amounts to domestic violence within the meaning of Section 3 of Domestic Violence Act 2005. In order to arrive at any conclusion, Honorable Apex Court looked into various aspects of marital relations and live-in relation, and also gone through various rulings from the courts of different countries. Thereafter, it formulated some factors to look into for testing under what circumstances a live-in relationship will fall within the expression relationship in the nature of marriage as defined under Section 2, Subsection F of the Domestic Violence Act 2005. The guidelines, of course, are not exhaustive but will definitely give some insight to the such relationship. As one of the first guidelines is that duration of period of relationship. Section 2, Subsection F of the Domestic Violence Act 2005 has used the expression at any point of time, which means a reasonable period of time to maintain and continue a relationship, which may vary from case to case depending upon the fact situation. The second guideline was regarding shared household. The expression has already been defined under Section 2, Subsection S of the Domestic Violence Act 2005, and it means a household where the person aggrieved lives or at any stage has lived in a domestic relationship either singly or along with the resident, and includes such a household whether owned or tenanted, either jointly by the agreed person and the respondent are owned or tenanted by either of them in respect of which either the agreed person or the respondent are both jointly or singly have any right, title, interest, or equity, and includes such a household which may belong to the joint family of which the respondent is a member, irrespective of whether the respondent or the agreed person has any right, title, or interest in the shared household. The third guideline relating to pooling of resources and financial arrangements supporting each other or any one of them financially, sharing bank accounts, acquiring immovable properties in joint names or in the name of the women, long-term investment in business, shares in separate and joint names, so as to have a long-standing relationship may be a guiding factor. The fourth guidelines relating to domestic arrangements entrusting the responsibility especially on the women to run the home, do the household activities like cleaning, cooking, maintaining, or upkeeping the house, etc., is an indication of a relationship in the nature of marriage. The fifth guideline that is relating to sexual relationship. Marriage-like relationship refers to sexual relationship and not just for pleasure, but for emotional and intimate relationship for procreation of children so as to give emotional support, companionship, and also material affection, caring, etc. The sixth guideline that relating to children. Having children is a strong indication of a relationship in the nature of marriage. Parties therefore intend to have a long-standing relationship. Sharing the responsibility for bringing up and supporting them is also strong indication. The seventh guidelines relating to socialization in public, holding out to public and socializing with friends, relations, and others, as if they are husband and wife, is a strong circumstance to hold the relationship is in the nature of marriage. The eighth important guideline is relating to intention and conduct of the parties. Common intention of parties as to what their relationship is to be and to involve, and as to their respective roles and responsibilities primarily determines the nature of that relationship. So, to conclude our discussion on this landmark judgment delivered in 2013 relating to the leading case Indra Sharma vs. VKV.Sharma under the Domestic Violence Act 2005, the question of law to be decided was answered as a woman having been fully aware of the fact that the person with whom she is having live-in relation is a married person cannot have entered into a live-in relationship in the nature of marriage especially where parties do not project or conduct themselves to be husband and wife before friends, relatives, and society, and hence cannot claim maintenance under the Domestic Violence Act of 2005. So, this very judgment delivered in 2013 by the two judge bench of the Apex Court in Indra Sharma vs. VKV.Sharma is almost unsettled the very question of legality of live-in relationship as under the very provisions of Domestic Violence Act 2005.